There you go. This time I'm not forgetting to record. I am not forgetting to record. We're going through the Fall in Love with Fitness Summit speaker by Marielle with the Forged Youth podcast. Dun, dun, dun. This guy's hopefully that one's recording on my left here. But hope you guys doing great. Happy Friday afternoon, evening, morning on January 16th here. So just quickly, hope you guys are doing great in the day one den. I am doing lovely updates. Um, we are rolling with I'm getting a Fighter Fit X day one den web-based app that I'm working on the in the back room here, and also the 3D analysis for joint overhead squat assessment, lunges, internal rotation, external rotation of the hip, of the shoulder. We got trunk rotation. I did my I did my full assessment yesterday, and yeah, you know what? It's eye opening because you know y- I always do the best I can to stretch, and I definitely want to make sure I am hitting my weightlifting goals and doing what I can. But no, a or no, someone reached out to me and asking about he has mid back issues, and definitely looking back to on through just the updates for the website, and looking back at all the YouTubes I had over the past 15, 16 years, and looking at client testimonials, and also previous clients that I work with who had um, limitations or injuries with their knee and the shoulder and their hip. And yeah, so just kind of going through all that, just recapping the journey thus far with Fighter Fit X, and yeah, no, having going with the day one den here, making sure that like as a member, as a student or a client, how what would I want a part of this experience, and having I always touch base with AI, but it's like I said, it's a tool just like the dumbbells. It is a tool to use, not to fully rely on. And the app that I'm using, that we're going to be using, the 3D analysis, is that we can do it remotely. So basically, I send you guys the. Well, of course, once you guys graduate from the 7 day jumpstart into the more uh, into actual coaching. Remember, the 7 day jumpstart is for you to first to get in the habit of working out, get in the habit of making sure that you are ready for success and fitness and this newfound journey of being healthy, and making sure that your home front, wherever you are, is it has room for this new person that you're becoming. And I don't want to have people signing up, through paid. This is for now. This is a free thing, but I don't want clients to sign up, and FighterFit X the has the blueprint, and this blueprint has worked for clients in the past, and it will work. However, it is relying upon the user to make sure to follow the steps, to have the mindset, to have the nutrition, to have the support with us inside the den, but of course also wherever you live at home, with your inner circle. But yeah, so let's going forward with that. Once we do have the day one den, you understand what is a part of living this healthy lifestyle, and you want to go into a higher touch point with coaching, and through the day one den, and through our live group coaching here, and through the recordings, and you see what the material that's inside the school platform, that you'll pay. You know what? I have trust in Ryan and his team. I have trust in the Fighter Fit Athletics, the Fighter Fit X Day One Den, and the Fall in Love with Fitness Summit series. Because coming through, looking at other coaches on my end to look at other coaches for business, for fitness business, and of course, school platform. I come across many, unfortunate. I don't want to say unfortunate, but it wasn't. The values weren't aligned, and I didn't want to fully dive into their coaching. And a lot of thankfully now there's more people on the school platform who are providing that value up front to make sure that you have full you have full confidence in making that purchase decision to go through with this coach. And yeah, that's why I want to have the day one den. Easy, like when like having an in-person gym like we did, usually have a, try a class, 7-day trial or a paid 2 weeks kind of thing. And yeah, so I'm like, okay, well, how can I implement this with online to making sure that you as a potential client that feel confidence in purchasing into our coaching is okay. Well, let's do the day one den, or sorry, let's do the 7-day jumpstart. And you might have seen in the webinar hosted by Ashley talking about the 7-day jumpstart that there was a fee. Um, we did have that fee because of there was other bonuses attached to it, and also that was for in person as well. So we are still having in person at the downtown location, downtown Vancouver. We still have that. And yeah, so now going forward with the 3D analysis for the posture, or sorry, for the joint and stuff, right? So we have that. Also working on the Day One Den app, just going through the the coding and stuff to make sure that is that's the bugs aren't visible. And with that too, like I went through a bunch of apps and I tried to make my own app for Fighter for X like years ago. I put all this effort into it, all the videos, the description, and going through the course material, and it was, I think it was based, I forgot where it was based on, but it was part of iOS, or it was iOS and Android, but going through that time 3 years ago, I put all this information into it, I paid all the stuff for it, and then Apple released an update, and then I couldn't continue with the app, and I just like, oh, I put so much time and effort into it, and fast forward to even today, there's another app that was a part of this other fitness coach, and he offered it as a free um, offered as a free, but there's also a pro option. So he had it for years. He has thousands and thousands of trainers on his platform, and he sold it. Or sorry, he was closing it down. He was closing it down, shutting it down, and there were so many people on there, clients on there. Basically, it was like it's kind of like a an Excel spreadsheet, but a little more geared towards fitness coaches and stuff and clients. But anyways, yeah, so like that was shutting down, and then thankfully another person or another company bought it. So it just with the landscape of technology and apps, you want to make sure I want to make sure that it is secure, right? There's another wonderful app that I was using, and they offered it for free, and of course eventually they had a paid option to it. So it was a live stream on Zoom or whatever. But I can, sorry, let me say this correctly. So we had a live stream workout, but there was also text on the video for the coach and also the people at home watching or following along. And there was a text of the exercise. There was a built-in timer as well too that I could plug into and put in the exercise. And then yeah, it was awesome. It was integrated with Zoom, and then yeah, then that app or that company shut down, and I was just like, oh man, it was so perfect that app. But anyways, I digress. I'm just telling you that there's a lot of stuff to go through to get your app going, and now hopefully with this new website that I'm with, switching over to Hostinger. Did I say that right? Anyways, We got the app coming along. We got the 3D analysis. All right. Of course, that's when you guys graduate from the 7 day den or 7 day jump start. 7 day den. Putting all the words together. All right. And make sure that recording is, I see that flash, so that's good. But yeah, so let's go through real quick here. Share a screen or window. Well, let's see if I do the screen. Nope. That is not it. Cancel. Share window. How about that? Share this window. Oh, it clicked over. It clicked over. All right. So this was on our first fall in love with fitness, and this was with Marielle. Awesome, awesome, awesome interaction, and also her talk about a trap mindset versus a trap mindset, and the power of I am statements, right? So you guys do have access to the recording here on Marielle. And da da da. Yeah, so the Forge Youth, a legacy within on her podcast, right? So Marielle, creator of, so she talked about the psychological distinction between a trapped mindset and a target mindset, highlighting how internal dialogue shapes physical reality. Marielle explains that the words "I am" are transformative because the brain seeks to validate whatever follows those two words. She illustrates how negative commands, like telling oneself, don't forget, don't do, don't forget this, often backfire because the mind focuses on the action rather than the prohibition. By reframing thoughts with hope and curiosity, individuals can physically alter their, their body's stress response and improve their overall fitness journey. Ultimately, the source podcast or the recording emphasizes rewiring the brain through repetition to foster resilience and personal growth. So it was, the what she talked about. She gave a little history of her coaching background, her volleyball, her athleticism, how she, definitely go see her, listen to her podcast. But she has pro athletes and coaches, and yeah, no, they dive into quite a bit of the background of athleticism, and it's a great podcast. I'm very thankful to have her and her talk with us and to fall in love with fitness. All right, so to dive a little bit deeper into the powerful words of I am. So how does the distinction between a trapped mindset and a target mindset influence long-term fitness success? So based on what she was talking about, the distinction between trap and target mindsets influences long-term fitness success by fundamentally altering both your brain's neural pathways and your body's physiological readiness to perform. Whereas if the forgot the what wires together fires together, something along those lines. What wires together fires together, and as in the neural pathways. All right, so here is a detailed breakdown of how these mindsets differ and why the target approach is essential for long-term consistency and growth. Right, so the mechanics of the trap mindset focuses on struggles, weaknesses, and negative framing. It is characterized by internal dialogue such as "I am out of shape," "I suck at this," or "I can't." It's once we have, we touched base on this before. If the person who I believe I am, who the characteristic or the ideology or the vision that I have in my head will dictate my actions. So if I'm too out of shape, or I'm too overweight to join a running club, for example, right? So that means though I would cap myself, I'll put myself into this box of those limitations that I just declared. So if I am out of shape or if I am overweight, acknowledge the current status of yourself, but don't identify with those keywords. So you know what? So currently, I am out of shape, but I can improve, and I will improve by eating healthier, by moving more, by having a more positive outlook on my life, and of course the relationships that I have within my life and my circle. So I'll do whatever I can to make sure that my person that I am becoming, the person who weighs X amount, the person who has a healthy body and fit body, however you define it, that's the person you want to come into. That is the thoughts that you want to have going forward each day in and day out. You know, I forgot where the our daily thoughts or our daily inner dialogue is a repeat from other. Um, it's a repeat or it's the same thoughts that's happening over and over again. So you want to make sure that you want to make sure that you don't not only talk about it, but also you write it down. You write down the person you are and you want to become. You don't want to focus on the negative. If you keep focusing on the negative, you're just going to put a magnifying glass on that negativity. And trust me, that is very unhealthy for the body, mind, and spirit and soul. So making sure that we reframe our constructs. We talk about I am going to choose healthier actions today. I am going to listen to positive influences. I am going to, excuse me, I am going to do whatever it takes to make sure that I succeed in my fitness journey, that I succeed in the life that I want to create, or that the the path that I want to not only succeed on, but also to be an influence for my family, to be an influence for the youth, right? So the youth, Forge Youth podcast, and of course, the don't paradox. So don't forget, is a key element of the trap mindset of Carol. Shout out to Carol Dweck on mindset. Great book, by the way. A key element of the trap mindset is focusing on what not to do. Example, don't skip the gym or don't eat that. The brain often processes don't as a stop to action and skips over it, focusing instead on the action itself. Skipping the gym or eating a snack. Don't negates and then it focuses more on the action. So if I don't skip the gym, then I'm not going to go to the gym. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. This is similar to being told, don't think of a pink elephant. People at home, don't think of a pink elephant. What comes to mind? Pink elephant. It's basic. It's basic yet. Uh, but it can have that something so basic you can offset your chair having that slight my chair is mine. I'm just saying having a wheel misplaced can alter the body. Having a slight degree shift in my ankle can mess up my hip, can mess up my knee, can mess up my deadlift, can mess up my jumping mechanics. So one small little degree of inefficiency or of imbalance can disrupt the whole uh, the whole activity needs to be performed well. So just having these small little tips and tools and tricks to be aware of will set you up on a longer term success pathway instead of trying today, messing up, and still talking about I am out of shape. Oh, I'm never gonna be fit again. I'm never gonna have those abs that I had. What I just did a video. What was the 2017, 9 years ago? 9 years ago, I was having look at those abs, and thankfully being shout out to people who don't drink. Well, nothing wrong with drinking if you do it too much. Of course, that's when it's negative. But not drinking for over a year, and my body's loving it. My mindset, my clarity, just being that healthy lifestyle. Making sure that the person that I want to become when I set this goal, year and a half ish ago, is to making sure, okay, well, if I want to be that role model, who does that Ryan entail? Who does that Ryan entail? So you write it down. Write down, okay, well, this person's going to do this, 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 and X, 1 through 10, all right? And making sure that, okay, well, how can I live up to those standards? What actions do I need to take to live up to this person who I am becoming? So the don't paradox, right? And also the physiological sabotage. So the trap mindset triggers a negative mind body loop. Thoughts like, I'm too out of shape, generate emotions like shame, guilt, and overwhelm. These emotions trigger a physical fight or flight response, shallow breathing, increased heart rate, nausea, and muscle tightness. So having that trap mindset, the the brain power and the constructs of the inner psyche can alter the body and force it to down a pathway of actions that will not solidify your goal outcome. It will trap. It will barricade or place a barrier upon you and your desired outcome. So being aware of what a trap mindset does in the body with stress, with muscle tightness, thinking I am too out of shape. I was talking with a client, and a couple of years ago, and we were just talking in the gym, and just talking about I forgot what it was, but he's like, yeah, you know what? Sorry for cursing here. He's like, yeah, what do you say again? Oh yeah, you know what? I'm just fat. I'm just fat. Like, whoa, no, like, no, you're not. No, you're not. Well, you have perhaps a higher body fat percentage at this current moment in time, but if you think you're fat, you do fat shit. Sorry for swearing, but if you think you are fat, that ideology or that mindset will dictate your actions. So I'm going to have, I'm saying if I declare to myself in my mind or to vocally to a friend, I'm just fat. I'm fat. I'm overweight. I'm fat. I'm sluggish. My back hurts. My knee hurts. All right. So that's just you are writing down. You are writing down, or you are. If you think you're fat, you're going to do fat stuff. If you think you're an athlete, you're going to do what athletes do. If you think you're this type of person, those are the actions that are going to come about. So you have the control to define who you are. You have the control, you have the power and also the capabilities to redefine and to reconstruct who you are. So take away and focus more on who you want to become, what you can do, instead of focusing on the negative, I'm out of shape, or don't do this or don't do that. Right? So the impact on fitness, if you attempt, if you attempt to work out while your muscles are tight and your breathing is shallow due to anxiety, you cannot perform to the best of your ability, and the risk of injury increases. So having that trap mindset with that mind body loop, and if you have that negative output, that will affect your performance. Now, on the positive side, the power of the target mindset. The target mindset reframes focus toward the desired outcome and identity. It directs the brain toward where you want to go rather than what you want to avoid. I forgot where the F1 drivers where you focus on where you want the car to drift to. You don't want to focus on the wall, or you don't want to focus on the curve of the wall if you're going to smash into that thing. So you focus on where you want to go. You tell your brain, because the brain is the computer. If you keep telling it that you're fat, you're out of shape, you're sluggish, your knee hurts, you'll always be injured. That's what the body was from. Like, okay, shoot, these are the inputs that he's giving me, so I better respond and tell the body, hey, look, he's telling that we're fat, so let's do some fat stuff. Right? And sorry, I lost my train of thought there, but like I started to laugh at my own joke. Yeah, so you tell your brain where you want it to go. So if you are an athlete, if you want, or if you are a solid straight A student, or if you are a leader of your community in a positive way to drive your community to a higher level within, or you want to if you want to elevate your community by its standards and values, you want to focus on what that community can become. So focus, tell the brain to focus on what needs to be changed in a healthier way, and reframing with yet. Instead of stopping at I can't do this, the target mindset adds the word yet. This shift introduces hope and curiosity, signaling to the brain that you are moving toward a goal, even if you are not there yet. So at this current state, I am not at this. I my body fat is high, percentage fat is high, and I will get to my goal. Um, yeah, so just having your words and your language that you talk will showcase your actions, or it will dictate your actions. So physiological advantage, positive reframing shifts your emotional state from anxiety to curiosity or excitement. This lowers the heart rate, deepens breathing, and keeps muscles loose and limber. This optimizes your body's physiology, allowing you to show up effectively for your workout. Identity formation. The most powerful words in this mindset are I am. Whatever follows these words is accepted by the brain as truth. By stating, I am here with you, I am here with you, I am focused here with you, my attention is with you, my my intention is making sure that I speak eloquently so that you can understand that I'm coming from true kindness, that I am coming from a state of wanting to help into a state of openness. Kind of went off on that one a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so I am disciplined. I am smart. I am capable. I am worthy of living a happy and healthy lifestyle. Right, so I am trying. You begin to shift your identity, which is crucial for long-term adherence. For long-term adherence, your identity. That's why we have the 7 day jump. Or keep saying that, the 7 day jump start, because there's a lot behind. Going back to marketing, 6 minute abs, make X in Y days, a week, whatever it may be. It is a constant, I don't want to say battle, it can be, but it is a science project. You want to keep picking away, because I'm 43. Maybe it took me 20 years to finally realize, certain things, right? Of course, 20 years. What I'm trying to say is you got to keep refining. You got to keep looking at your tool set and what is working and what is not working, to making sure that you are, as you progress in life, as you progress in your fitness journey, that you are capturing all the necessary tools to give you that long-term adherence. So having that new ideology, or that new identity is going to take its time. Um, it's going to take time to really solidify into your psyche, into your subconscious, into your heart and soul on this one, to making sure that we have that identity shift that will last. We're approaching the end here. Right. Long-term success, rewiring the brain. The distinction between these mindsets influences long-term success through the repetition, or sorry, through the principle of repetition and neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is just having the neurons within the psyche can rewire itself through repetition of of having what fires together wires together, something like that, what we previously said. The second thought rule, you often cannot control your impulsive first thought, which might be negative. However, long-term success comes from controlling the second thought, consciously reframing the negative impulse into a target-focused thought. So might flash, I'm just so out of shape. Whoa, I'm not out of shape. I'm currently out of shape, but I am going to the gym. I am being consistent with my workouts. I am making sure that I have plenty of water, plenty of, decreasing my sugar intake and doing what I can to have something else, a healthier option. So it's just having that, it's just trapping. As soon as you think of something that's negative or that's not going to help you grow, you stop for a second, take a step back, and realize, okay, no, 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 that's an old way of thinking. My new way of thinking is this and X, Y. So building neural roads. Every time you reframe a thought toward the target, you widen the neural pathway, the road, for that positive behavior in your brain. Simultaneously, you trap the pathway, sorry, the trap pathway shrinks due to lack of use. So just like working out, this is the same thing that goes all along lines of creating a new behavior or a new what am I looking for? A new attitude, new behavior, a new action, a new habit. So a new habit, right? I was listening to, or I was watching a podcast or a discussion, and they were talking about, okay, well, if I want to do this, and someone asked me, my first thought is, yeah, let's do it. But then after, I feel guilty because I chose yes. So the neural pathway, the pathway is not solidified yet. Right now, it's just a overgrown grass or overgrown or things in your way. But the more time you practice, when they ask you to do this, to partake in this negative activity, or sorry, not negative, but it will not benefit your outcome of what you want to achieve. Like, you know what? Thank you for asking me, but no, I do not want to do this. Let's do this instead and offer solutions to that conversation or to that party involved. So we're just practicing um, that repetition of, you know what, thank you for this offer, or thank you for the invite, or thank you for this. I'm going to choose this because I have goals to achieve. I have, I am doing what I can to work on this new behavior so that my actions will reflect on the person I am becoming. So it's having the, as soon as something happens, repetition. Da-da-da. And who you become. Ultimately, the target mindset shifts the focus from the outcome, like a six pack, to the character traits you are developing: discipline, loyalty to self. This internal change sustains fitness habits long after the initial motivation fades. Who you become. Target mindset. What do you want to achieve? Focus on that. Focus on the outcome and step into that person. Step into the person as in step into the characters of that person today. And choose to, like, I want to live today by this healthier individual of who I am becoming. And transforming, been having a running nose for the past week. Transforming anxiety into excitement. A critical insight for long-term resilience is how we handle butterflies or nervousness. Marielle talked about butterflies in her talk. So you're gonna have to rewatch, or you're not rewatch, but you're gonna have to take a look at the at her speech or her segment there. Let me repeat that again. A critical insight for long-term resilience is how we handle butterflies or nervousness. Anxiety and excitement produce nearly identical physical sensations. The trap mindset let these butterflies fly chaotically, causing hesitation. The target mindset gets them into formation, directing that nervous energy towards the goal. This allows you to interpret nervous energy as excitement for who you are becoming, making the journey feel hard and amazing at the same time rather than just difficult. To visualize this, imagine your brain as a landscape with two roads. The trap road is currently a wide paved highway because you have traveled it for years with negative self talk. The target road is a narrow dirt path. Every time you catch a negative thought and reframe it, changing I can't to I can't yet. You add a layer of pavement to the target road and neglect the trap highway. With enough reps, the target road becomes the superhighway of your mind, making fitness a natural, automatic part of who you are rather than a daily struggle against yourself. You are the person in charge. You can create a new and healthier lifestyle by having these tools highlighted or addressed by Marielle, and you can apply the principles to your own life and what you can do to become uh, a more positive target mindset individual. So huge shout out to Marielle for Youth podcast. Definitely check her out. So for the day one den here, you guys have I believe it's the PDF and also an infographic. You do have the 32 minutes um, her talk on here as well. And yeah, let's double check here. Oh yeah, so we have good time and hit save. And just trying to figure this out. And what did I do here? Did I stop sharing the screen? I hope I did. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Looking forward towards the app, the Deal One Den app, so you guys can have the meal plan. Sorry, not meal plan. You know, actually, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to say anything yet. Let me dive into a little more deeper to make sure that before I shoot myself in the foot or let a dumbbell land on my foot, I will do. I'll keep the hidden stuff hidden for now, and 3D analysis. Love it. Having that as a for of course the higher tiered coaching aspect will definitely making sure that when I was doing it in person, I'll be able to see and address concerns of my client. I would later then research on what I can do as a personal trainer to address these uh, muscle imbalances or knee injuries or shoulder injuries, and we would address it in that gym setting. Now, having this 3D analysis, you being in California or the Cayman Islands, you would be able to have I could be able to coach you and have that professional aspect to it so that you can get back to your sport, that you can address you don't have to live in pain. You don't have to work around it. I was listening to someone was talking. He's like, yeah, I am, a professional hockey player, yet I have to, they're talking about something. I think it was a podcast for National Sports Medicine podcast, and they were talking about working around pain, even though like the hockey player, oh yeah, I got knee issues and this and that. It's like oh, and the trainer was like, or the personal trainer or the coach expert was saying, okay, well, what do you do for this and that? Oh, I just work around it. So what do you mean you work around it? You don't want to address it? I'm like, no, I just just work around it and work with it. Right? You don't have to work in pain. So basically, what that was kind of saying was doing the rehab, prehab stuff, and now having this 3D analysis where this 3D analysis, NFL football teams, college teams, they use it. But anyways, yeah. So having this tool set to increase to making sure that you guys at home, wherever you guys are, that you are on, um, you are good to go and healthy and strong. All right, so I'm gonna hit for stop record.